Well, it looks like Gina Carano is back in the news. In case you forgot, Gina committed the unforgivable and, more importantly, possibly career-ending sin of not agreeing with woke Hollywood. She'd pretty much been left alone until now, when a Hollywood Reporter, quote, journalist, unquote, decided to go on the attack. Alright, so we start off with the article saying the Terror on the Prairie actress and former The Mandalorian star Gina Carano recently ripped into the Hollywood Reporter's Richard Newby, calling him a sellout journalist and claiming that he sold out America. Now, why on earth would she do such a thing? Well, apparently, Newby asserted that he would never stop laughing at the fact that Gina Carano could have had her own Star Wars series, toys, books, comics, apparel. She was that close. She didn't just fumble the bag. She dumped it out, put it over her head, and cut it off her air supply. And that was a comment that was made in response to a comment by a completely unrelated individual who stated that Carano's Terror on the Prairie film only earned $804 at the box office. Now, they do mention that there's a reason it had $804 at the box office. It wasn't really released at the box office. In fact, there was one showing. Otherwise, it was just a Daily Wire Plus exclusive release. Here's the exact tweet if you need to take a look at it. The exchange, it got 1 million views. The power of the idiocy. Okay, unable to let that slide, Gina did fire back with, here's a contributor of The Hollywood Reporter who repeatedly joins in an online mob of mostly anonymous accounts harassing me. I dare say all anonymous, but all right. Are you aware that we released Terror on the Prairie exclusively on The Real Daily Wire, and you didn't know that? Or are you ignorant and spreading hate your only purpose here? And really that cuts kind of to the core of it. It's a non-article. It's a non-news story. Oftentimes, streaming services or companies will release a movie in one single theater to satisfy a commitment, to attempt to make a deadline for an award ceremony contender spot, etc., etc. This was never supposed to be a movie theater movie, and she's clearly pointing that out. She wasn't about to let that little jab about her fumbling the bag go either, and so she clearly explains that I didn't fumble the bag, I just didn't go along with the sellout narrative. The online mob couldn't handle that, so they petitioned to have me fired and won. Sorry for that. I stood for what I believed the right thing to do was, and the more time that goes by, the better I feel. Now, quick recap for anyone not familiar. Gina Carano, basically, in the middle of her Mandalorian run, had a couple of social media posts that were not 100% woke, weren't going along with the message. They weren't hateful. They weren't insulting. They merely didn't go along with the program. A big old bunch of internet trolls anonymously complained to Marvel Disney, and bam, she's fired. Loses out on a job for no other reason than she offended the woke mob. So that's what she's referring to. And then she finally wraps it all up by stating, the genuine bag fumble is sellout journalists like you who sold out America and stopped asking questions to be liked by a fickle, manipulative mob. That is what you valued, and that will be your legacy. And a final bit of insult to injury. Gina then followed it up by posting the image of the fact that that journalist, Richard Newby, had blocked her. Just to put a nail in the coffin on this Richard Newby, I'm not going to show you, but he has other Twitter posts where he's ripping on Evangeline Lilly and Letitia Wright on their anti-vax stances, and another one where he's basically defending and promoting the race swaps of the J.R.R. Tolkien Rings of Power show, stating that anyone who disagrees is simply racist. So we now know exactly all we need to know about Richard Newby. He is basically a white knight simp for the social justice warrior woke mob crowd, willing to do or say anything to get a little pat on the back from them. That is what Gina was referring to when she called him a sellout. Now, the rhetoric about selling out America, a bit much, I'll give you that, but obviously she's passionate about it, so I can't fault her. Bottom line is you've got a guy, this Richard Newby, that is just, as I said, a simp, woke mob, white knight, and the problem is he writes for a respected and powerful publication in The Hollywood Reporter. What he says oftentimes matters. The way that it is said oftentimes matters. I don't have any doubt that when the whole situation with Gina Carano was going down. If not him, then someone was reporting that, oh, the awful, horrible Gina Carano has said awful, horrible things about Jewish people, or whatever slant or angle they want to put on it to incite people, because really that's what it's all about. News these days, it's about making people angry regardless of what side that you're on. Nonetheless, I applaud Gina for standing up to the woke mob. It would be great if more people were able to do that. She will suffer her career accordingly, and she already has, and that explains why people don't. But at least there are a handful out there still fighting the good fight. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree on the situation with Gina? Please let me know. Obey your king. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification icon.